Well, I'm back. Well, as you can see, I've been quite a busy bee. Last time you saw me, we did the bottom. I've now completed the top. I decided to do all the roof and that in the same. I think it looks nice. So that's where I'm at. 2 seconds and I'll get the door. Right, as you can see, there's a matching door. And that is actually a true reflection of the colour of the floor. Because it did look different in the videos, but it really isn't that dark. I also did the roof in it as well. So when that's back on, you can see that matches too. So yeah, we'll get on with it. I'd just like to say a quick thank you to anybody who's liked, subscribed and left me a comment, because as you know, I do really appreciate it, and it does help the channel and it helps us build a lovely community. So thank you so much. Right, so this is what I've been doing with the windows. I'm using this stuff, pebeo. It's like an outliner for glass. Unfortunately, I bought white. Meant to buy black. Alcohol pen, as we know, great for wood, great for everything, I think. So, and I think that's given it quite a nice age look and like quite a genuine lead look. So it's like plastic windows. So I kept that and using that as a grid, and then I've drawn where I need to be underneath. But I can't show you on this because I really need to be right over the top of it. So I'm using one of these because it does have to be straight and it's very hard to get it straight. But instead of using it that way, which is the way the ruler would go, and that would sit flat against the glass, as it's got a bevel on it. Can you see? So I'm putting it that way, so this isn't touching the actual glass. So I could use this grid as a reference. Maybe it is. Right. So as you can see, that's what it looks like. It's got a very fine hole. The harder you squeeze it, the more comes out. So let's see if anything's going to come out. Or has it blocked up? I think it might have blocked up. Hold on a minute. Well, that's actually gold. That's what I was thinking. Oh, it looks a funny colour. That wasn't the one I was using at all. Oh, so I still haven't found it. I've been looking for it, so I'll have to carry on looking in a minute. Hey, got the right one, the right colour. Such a plonker. As you can see, it says white. But anyway, like I said, I meant to buy black, but I didn't. So I'm making the most of a bad situation. Really giving it the lightest of squeezes. Like that. I mean, it's self-explanatory really, but I'm just showing you my little technique, if it might help some of you, if you have to do a similar sort of thing. Your outline. It seems though you didn't see that one, I'll do that one again. See if we can get it on. You can imagine I couldn't do this. I need to be exactly where I need to be on it, so. There. So that's how it goes anyway. So I'll get on with that and I'll get back to you when it's done. Now, as you can see, that's not perfect, but you can tidy it up a bit. And if you can see, there's a line here. Obviously, this will be a lot easier to do because I haven't put the other cross members in yet. So now's the time to do it. That bit there. Okay, so there's the first bit done. Yeah, I'll have to do that side next. Right, so I'm onto the top windows now. I still haven't coloured the other one in. I'm just letting it dry overnight. So that's what was there, and I've cut it with a curve just to make it a bit prettier. So all I'm going to do is put that on top of that one, because I have the pattern of this one, and use that as my stencil. I think it is. Ooh. So that's basically what it'll be. Okay, while we're waiting for those windows to dry, I'm going to try and put these stairs in. The holes were already there, I just needed to drill them through a bit more, and I haven't gone mad with the size of the screws, and they have to be flat because obviously I might have to countersink these yet. Come on. So I just put the stairs in place and drilled the hole through. These might not be long enough either, to be honest. Oop. It's quite awkward to do and show you, as usual. Where's the screw? Can you see it there? Yeah. This screwdriver is a little bit big, but I've got to use what I've got. Or maybe not. Right, hang on a minute. See if I've got I've usually got a butter knife hanging around up here. Can I see it? Can I help? I can't let go of this. Oh, here we go again. Right, what's that one? All right, that's a flathead. There you go, this might do a better job. Oh, come on, don't drop. I need you to stay in place. Again, change of plan. I'm having to re-drill the holes in the side because they don't match up. So maybe these aren't the original stairs. Maybe they weren't for the stairs. I don't know. But anyway, not looking forward to this, but here we go. Obviously, there's no point showing you because you can't really see anything. It's just going into the stairs. Well, the good news is I got the right spot. So I'll get the screw in and we'll go from there. Right, they're in. I've just put one screw in the side. It's really, really firm. I didn't need to put a second one in. So those big screws did the job at the bottom and a smaller screw at the side. Well, in my inevitable way, I just saw a bit of different colour green poking through. So I decided to give it a bit of a heat source. That didn't work very well. So I gave it a quick sand, and there's like lots of different tones of greens that it's had over the years. So I'm going to leave it like that. I like it like that better. So, you know me, I like it aged. But the thing is, because I'm selling this, I really don't know whether to age the paper or not. It wouldn't suit everybody. But anyway, we'll see. So what I'm going to do with this is I've stained it down a bit, and I'm just going to do the same technique of making it look like plank. Well, that's it more or less. I've just got the pencil marks to put on. I'm reasonably happy. Means that on some I put 4, on that one I've put 3 there, and on that one I've put 1 there where the split is. So it's just really your preference. Right, that's better. Helps if you've got a reasonably sharp pencil. Right, as you can see, I have a little fireplace to go in under there, up there, which came with the house. So that's, I think, it's probably original. So I need to put a bit of black paper at the back of that, or put something else and paint some flames, we'll see. But this also needs finishing off, and I thought that, rather than lace, just looked really nice, because it's, I don't know if you can see, it's got a bit of pink in it, which picks up the flowers and the greens and blues. So for me, that's a win-win. So that's what I'm going to put on there anyway. So there they are, both done. Yeah, quite pleased with that. Okay, so here's where we're at with the windows. That one's done, like we showed you before with the grey. I've done both sides now. That one's done both sides. Still got to colour it in, so that's got it both sides. And this one's, I've still got the other side to do. So yeah, when I'm waiting for it to dry. I've stopped trying to use my heat gun. It doesn't help the adhesion of it. It's yeah, and they're all a little bit messy, to be honest. A bit disappointed, but never mind. I should have got an acrylic pen and I didn't, so there you go. I'm not sure if that would work, but it would probably work better than this. So anyway, while we're waiting for that to dry still, because I have to keep waiting for like the rose to dry, I have this. No, I take it you do all remember the Brigadier's house. So that's what this is for. I'm going to unframe it and use these little cameos. Now this is only vintage, it's not antique, I might add, but I just thought it was so nicely done that it would make beautiful portraits, obviously, of him and his wife. And they love to have silhouettes done, although they were usually done in black. I just love this because it's got the bit of military uniform on. So I did look up what date they were around from, and I can't remember now, I'll be honest with you. Hand painted on glass by H.C. Bassett. I did look it up, and it's either 80s or 90s. I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to take it apart. So we'll start doing that, and then we'll come back to the cottage after. Well, getting it out of the frame is going to be easier said than done. So I think it's just glued in. Right, I've had to cut round the fabric. It really wasn't coming off. Basically that's what it is. So my thoughts are, obviously I'm going to put that back on there and then put it back on them and then hang them back up. Hopefully. I'm trying to get rid of the last bit of pink's fun. But anyway, we'll sort that out after. Okay, so I'm looking for a backing for these. I could use the original backing, which I still haven't cut up yet, but I have got this stuff stuck to the back of it, so we're putting that aside. This is foam. Now my thoughts are if I cut it ever so slightly smaller, it might just sit inside, because when these are on, the frames are on, they don't quite cover the edges. So I'm thinking of trying to age it a little bit, not that much obviously, but the edge a tiny bit. I've only got a finger to do it with. I don't have any you know, normal sort of things that you would normally blend inks in with, but all I want is the tiniest bit, just to make it look like it's a bit aged, that's all. Just to take that white tone down a bit. Well, I think that's actually smudged the pencil in a bit, so I think that's worked. Right, we'll do another one. I mean, literally see how much I put on the tiniest bit, and we'll start out. So we're not too, yeah. Hopefully that should do it. The pencils actually worked to my advantage on that, because it's definitely moved in with the stain or the ink pad. Looks on it, it might not look right, or it might just look nice and aged. Do you know what? I think that's all right. It's just taken that. I'll show you the comparison on the pure white. It's very nice and clear, don't get me wrong, but it just looks a bit too new. So I think that's a good alternative. but just is enough. It might be the odd little bit that shows, but I mean, when I first saw these, I thought these would be stiff metal, and obviously they're not at all. They're just like a foil. Maybe a little bit thicker than a foil, but not much. You can see how bendy they are. Right, I've stuck that on. You can see the glue there, but from a distance it's not too bad. Yeah, I think I just need to use less glue on the foam. I ended up having to refill this with Yoo-hoo glue, and that's not my very favourite glue, but it actually seems to have worked all right at the moment. But as you can see, I've got that overlapping, so there's a bit of sorting out to do, but I need to let it dry first. We'll see what we can do with the second one. Right, there we go, we got it off. So there, we need to let them dry, and I'll show you them in place in a bit. Along with the other bits, we'll have another look in the Brigadier's house and put these up. Okay, so I've been thinking about how having the glue behind this glass, it looks pretty ugly, to be fair. I mean, example, that's what happens. It's not pretty, is it? So what I'm thinking is maybe if I use this, I was going to use black, but I think I'll stick with brown. Put it across, stick it on like this. Get off. Right, hold on. Yeah, it needs to be straight for one thing, reasonably. So if we line this up with that, we can use that as a guide, can't we? Right. So what I'm thinking is, whoop. Gosh, I'm making a right old mess of this, aren't I? It's one of those days. Come on, cut. I've just tried it in place. I don't like it. So I'll show you if I can. Hang on. There. It just doesn't look right. Okay, so what I'm thinking of doing is putting some of the sisal glue on here, just round the border, and gluing that in place, and then trimming it off once it's glued down. I mean, I could try trimming it before, but I think if I hold up to the light, I should be able to see like the pencil mark. That's the only thing I can really think of how to do it. It's a difficult one. Obviously, if the glass was in, I could have papered over it, but I've already papered with the glass out, so I can't really do that. So anyway, I'll give it a go and get back to you. Right, so I've just put the glue on like that, and then I'm going to glue that on and we'll go from there. Right, you get to see with me whether this works or not. Oh, that's run off. Where's the ruler? It's tearing. I'm assuming that's because I'm not in the glued area. Enough. Right. I should go and try that in place. Okay, I've just tried it. It actually looks okay, so that's what I'll go with. I'll do the others. Yeah, and then I'll show you them in place. Right. Of course, I thought I was recording. Actually, I wasn't, but I put the wrong paper on it. So anyway, what we need to do is I want to try and match this up a little bit. With the flowers, it didn't matter so much. Right, so it's just below the window. Right, that's just below the window, so it's there. Right, so all I'm doing is holding it up to the light. Obviously, I can't do that, but they're just marking where I think the window frame, or where I need to hide the glue anyway. So that. Right, so then I'm just going to use my craft knife to cut the lines. Bit of a change of plan. I decided not to have the extra paper on the sides. I think it looks better. So I should trim the ones off the top. I'm going to use my Gorilla Glue. It won't set straight away, so once I've done this, I can't go messing around with it. Because, yeah, it takes all night to set. But it is a good glue. I used to use it on my jewellery making to set stones sometimes, like if a stone was just in a setting. But, so I know it's pretty good. And I could have used the original glue. I do have some of the old animal type glue, but I really don't like using it. I mean, I don't like the thought that it's been made from animals, but it's just very hard to use as well. Right. I think about there. Ooh, is right. Yep. Let's zoom in and have a look. Yeah, I think that's about right. So I'll just give you a light press, but at least you can't see all that horrible ugly glue. They're all in place now, so I'll just put some weights on and yeah, we'll leave them to dry. I couldn't show you those two. It was just impossible to get the camera in and me. So anyway, they're done. The door. Stained it a bit and then gone over the same for the flooring. I'm going to make another door completely. Keep this as the original one and make some like lovely metal, you know, the long hinges. But time's an issue, and also I decided just to keep the original door in there. Is probably a better thing to do, but it hasn't got a handle. So I'm just using these old beads. As you can see, I have a bag of old beads. They're metal. Putting that through there. That hole doesn't go all the way through, which is convenient, because it means now I can just cut them to that level like that. Cut them short. And glue. And the other thing I've been on with, it should be dry now, is the fireplace. I just did a little background for it to look like flames. Not the best flames in the world, it's just the old card. You see, that was my first attempt. I wasn't happy with that. I was trying to copy the sort of style of triangle bit, which is that kind of style. So that's why that looks like that. But it didn't really work out, so I did that. It looked better. So anyway, that's ready to go in. We'll get these glued on and we'll put those in. Right, that's that done on either side. So I've just got to get the nails. I've only got 3 to this, so I might be able to find another one and attach it back. So anyway, that's it. Looks all right. Right, just before I put everything back together, I just have these that I want to make into a knocker. So unfortunately, well, I wouldn't say unfortunately, I've been keeping them because I thought they'd make a great bathroom sort of bar, but anyway, they're going to be the door knocker. So I'll put that upside down. I'm going to cut the end off so that hopefully once that's screwed in tight, I can then screw the other end on like that because it's the same thread because they were the same thing. So that's my plan. So we'll do that and then put it on the door. There's the windows in. Don't look too bad, do they, now they're in place? And I've been very naughty. I put the doorknob on, but I also decided to go with these. They're actually hooks I've got, and I've cut the ends off to make them into hinges. They're Victorian, to be fair. They're probably older than the house. But I just like them so much, and I've had them for years, and I just thought they would make great hinges. So I've got another 2, so I might put them on the shutters as well. So anyway, I just wanted to show you why the sun was shining through, because it is going to rain. And I just thought it looks so nice with the sun shining through. So these are the hooks that you've just seen on the door. So I've just cut them off like about there and using them. And if I use these 2 as well on the windows, I'll have a look. But they're only glued on, so I haven't made anything extra in the door, as in like I haven't destroyed anything. And the door handle hole was already there. Not quite as big, to be fair, but it was there. So these could just be literally, you could prise them off. It would take the paint off, but the paint isn't original anyway, so my mind, I like them. I've decided to do it. There you go. I'm going to have a look at what these look like on the shutters. Well, she's nearly complete, but I've got some finishing touches to do. I did put those brass bits on the windows and everything, so I think I'm going to paint them black. Anyway, there's quite a bit to do. The doors have to come back off. The hinges aren't on there properly. They're in the wrong place. So whoever put them on before has put them on wrong because the back doesn't quite fit right. So anyway, we'll carry on with it next week. Yes, you did hear me right. Next week. So next Friday, there'll be another video out. It won't be as long, but we'll get some stuff done all the same. Right, last of all, I promised Dot, the doll cupboard, that I would reset some eyes. Now, I did reset them on the doll that I was doing the other week. I'll show you those after. They were successful. Maybe not the conventional way. Not far off, but you know what I mean. So anyway, I said I'd have another go. I mean, that's the first time I've ever done them. So sleeping eyes are a lot harder to do than eyes that don't move. So as you can see, and this one, actually, I wish I got this one out before because I would have noticed what these were like, and it actually is just, yeah, just lashes on like that. So anyway, the side we're doing is this side. There's one side already in, which is going to act as a guide for me, but if there wasn't, you would just sit them in place just the same, as far as I'm aware. Right, so we're going to put some Vaseline on. So the plaster of Paris does not stick to this bit here. Right, so I'm going to put the eyes. Oh, I've got Vaseline all over my fingers now. God. Right, we're going to put the eyes in place. Trouble is, I'm trying to use tacky wax instead of getting a load of wax out. This doll totally needs repainting, by the way. I got her and some idiot had drawn eyebrows on with an indelible marker. So I had to get them off, and her face was like that, so I will repaint her. Right, that is holding them in place, so I haven't got my finger on the back. So that's now holding it in place. Right, so I'm going to pop this in now and see what happens. because I don't know. Not even sure how much to put in, to be honest. Right, so we're going to plop it in up there, apparently, and let gravity take its action. That's definitely not enough, and it's not moving either. Okay. I'm pretty sure I don't want it there, so we'll take it back off there. But that looks like it's going into place, doesn't it? It looks similar to that side. So now it's just a matter of waiting. And then I think we're going to rock the eyes. This isn't how I did my other one. What I did my other one is it just didn't seem to want to set, so I took a brush and I just brushed off in there, and that worked. But we'll see if this works. I'm all good for trying different things. As you can see, that's what it's now like. While we're waiting, I'll just tell you what's going on next week. I'll be doing some more on the cottage. I've got to make some curtains for it. I'll be doing some more on a bit of revisiting, going back to Follybeck and having a look at the kitchen, how that's come along, and going back to the Brigadier's house, putting those pictures up and putting the 2 little flags that I got as a gift a while ago up on the walls. So yeah, it should be good. I look forward to seeing you all, hopefully. Don't forget, next Friday. Right, I've just taken the last little bits of wax back off. It just peeled off. Right, well, I'm going to try. I'm hoping that's dry enough. It seems to be. Hang on, let me just try pushing it a bit. It's set-ish. I'm not sure if I should leave it longer or not, I'll be honest. Is there a crack in it? Yeah, it's cracking it, but maybe it needs to crack. Yeah, it's not, I don't think it's quite dry enough yet. I'll leave it a bit longer. Right, this seems to be set now. Doesn't seem to be moving. I'm forcing it. Well, they are a little bit. It's starting to rock a little bit, look. But obviously, I don't want to. Sorry, there's not a lot I can actually show you to get you inside the doll's head. Yeah, they're getting stuck there. I don't want to break the eyes. There, I've done it. So that has made that crumble a bit. But they are moving, not as free, I think, as they should yet, anyway. I think it's just a matter of being brave and forcing them. And I don't see any reason why you can't. What have I got? Hang on a minute. Right, I've just got this from my Cricut tool. So I think personally I'm going to just take a little bit off there. It's obviously set, but not like rock hard. It's hard, but not rock hard. And plaster's quite a crumbly thing anyway, isn't it? And obviously I don't want to create too much of a gap. But there has to be, I mean, you can see the gap there, I can actually fit the tool in there. So there definitely has to be more of a gap than there is at the moment. I've just got to be careful not to damage the eyes, as in like the plaster stuff on the eyes. We're nearly there. I'm not quite sleeping yet. Is a lot closer than that eye. Can you see? You can see down there where you can't on that one. So like I say, this won't be the final set for these eyes anyway. I'll take them back out and redo them, but yeah, it's certainly not as easy as one would hope. And even if I push those in, I can't get that eye any closer. It's not me plaster of Paris stopping it, but it's very close on that side. So there's still, although I can move them quite easily on their own for some reason, I don't particularly want to move when I do a head. Oh, there we go. Right, I think it's just going to be a matter of letting them bed in now. So there you go, Dot. It's not as the instructions me and you have quite seen, but you know, we've got there. It can be done. It would be very hard on a little doll, I've got to say. I think it'd be really hard, but you know. So anyway, the other thing I'd just like to say is I've got Ko-fi now, so that means anybody who wishes to support me and help the channel along can buy me a coffee. And the link's in the description, or it's on the picture as you go to my homepage. It starts off as little as £1 or $1, so anything would be really appreciated. And I do drink a lot of coffee, so it'd be great. So anyway, I'll see you next week, and ta-ta for now.